think we may leave comments on, but I'm not answering. Please don't ask me a bunch of questions while I'm trying to answer your questions. And if no one shows up, I'm just not gonna fucking do it. This is ridiculous. Not even gonna start until people show up. Let's see, 4 people. There we go. Guys, I don't wanna sound like I'm being bitchy, but fucking YouTube's pissing me off. It really is. So let's go ahead and we'll just start at the top. Because I imagine I'm only like 8 people watching this. Don't give me the it's the Sunday thing, because Mondays I can get people that log in on a Monday usually and watch stuff while they're at work. Anyway, so let's start. So Raha Nabanade. I know who that is. It's not his actual name. Question: how can a bald face man such as myself grow a beard like yours? Does it require copious amounts of beard or other inebriating substances? No, it usually requires testosterone. That's what does it. Oh, geez, this is going to be ugly. Trying to get this set. There we go. Okay, so what's the next one? Dr. Mark, I've been away for a while. Now, neither one of these, this first comment, I don't know why this is. Let's sort by, we have to do it by newest first. There we go. So we had 2 people that did this after, that signed in after and asked questions. So I'm just not gonna read theirs. Apologize, but they weren't part of the original giveaway. So those questions aren't getting read. G Michael 8 says, do you MTech knives? No. I'm not sure what that means, but I know what MTech knives are. No. Chase Boatwright, congratulations, Mike. And for the questions, what's the speed/velocity or speed velocity of an unladen swallow? So I'm not sure if that's a European or an African swallow. So, you know, that's going to be difficult to answer. You got to be a king to know those things. Ben, so hi dude, says, can you talk about when you messed up a customer's knife? I want to know just in case I decide to sharpen as a side job. If you screw up a customer's knife, which technically I've only ever done once. I had a customer that a European swallow just can't carry it. But an African swallow, they're not migratory, so how would you know? Please, I'm gonna turn off comments probably, because I get distracted. Can you talk about when you messed up a customer's knife? Okay, so technically, since I started the actual business, I've never messed up a knife. There's been some people that think that I have because of what they asked, and it was miscommunication. I did exactly what they asked, and I made it look like it left the factory, but that's not what they wanted. So anyway, what do you do? So the time I broke the tip off of a guy's knife because it fell out of a bag and it snapped open and broke the tip off, I bought that gentleman a new knife, which sucks because I was going to make $30 sharpening and wound up spending $320. So that meant technically that cost me $350. I would not advise it. Sharpening as a side job is... congrats on 4. So this is Vibjorn. Do you have any tips, advice for sharpening the field, i.e. hunting? Yeah, just take a small flat stone with you, a small slipstone, and then a strop. A strop is really good, but you can sharpen on pretty much any abrasive rock you find out there. It'll get you a field-worthy edge. Bryce Dickerson, I'm a new viewer, really liking your content. My question is, do you have any recommendations for stones or blades that someone new to sharpening practice on? Yeah, cheap, your coarse stones should always be the cheap ones. You're gonna go through them anyway. So if you're spending more on coarse stones, unless it's like those diamond matrix stones I use, like the coarse one is $77, but it's worth it. You really shouldn't be spending more than about 10, 12 bucks on that. The Bear, your channel rocks. How long have you been interested in knives? Basically from the womb. My dad, it's genetic. Robert Douglas in Canada, just checking out Apple stuff. There's a probe camera. Do you have one of those? No, I do not. Not trying to be Area 51 guys, but I thought that would point across on the channel. No, I do not have that. Charles Anderson in Sweden. Have you gotten rid of the skunk yet? And why does the dummy keep getting sprayed by it? My dog does not recognize the difference between a skunk and a black and white cat. And she tries to chase cats out of the yard to keep our cat safe. And she tries to chase a skunk. And yes, the skunk spray smell is gone, and I may have gotten rid of the skunk, but we don't want to put that out publicly how I took care of it. PETA after me. You know, because apparently the right way to take care of abandoned animals is to execute them. Thanks, PETA. I Love Knives said, we did it. Would you, we did it. I Love Knives said, we did it. Would you recommend a Lion Steel small fixed blade for EDC and M390? If you're talking about the M4, the Lion Steel model M4, that is a very nice little knife. It's just going to need reprofiled because the edge is really bad. Proud Pardant. Congratulations. Hi, Mike. Congratulations on the 4K. As a new sharpener with a rapidly growing knife collection, what would you recommend as the best learning set of stones? Like I said, I have a video. I would just say go back and find the video where I say, you know, what stones are good for me. Hang on a second. I gotta turn this screen brightness down or I'm gonna burn my battery out before I get even close to being done. So, I would say that, you know, what stone is best for me, I think was the name of the video. J-Man, love the content, keep it up. What's the oldest knife you own? It's currently right here. It was my grandfather's. It only had, it has a spot for a second blade, but it only has one, and it is old. This was my mother's father's old Imperial with mother of pearl, but they're fake mother of pearl scales. It looks like it might have gotten hit by a lawnmower or something at one point. But this is the oldest knife I own because this is way older. The only other knife that I think qualifies as being that old is a knife that my father gave me when I was younger than my daughter. Anthony Banascus says, do you think a Shirogorov is worth the money? I'm still on the fence. I like Shiros, but I am not 100% sure that I would pay that much for them. There's knives out there that are every bit as nice that aren't as expensive. But I'm not gonna lie, I like Shiros. But I'm still on the fence on the price. I'm still on the fence on the price structure for Shirogorov knives. Tammy Clevenger. Oh no, I'm sorry, Outpost 76. Did you ever figure out how to sharpen Maximat? Yes, I did. I still don't want to do it. I talked to Big Brown Bear. Sean does not want to be sharpening, so there's a likelihood if you have Maximat, we will send it to me. I have the stones to do it, but it's going to be a high price because the amount of time. It was not that I could not sharpen. I was able to sharpen Maximat. I've tried it since and have been able to sharpen it. It's the amount of time required. There is an amazing expenditure of time in sharpening Maximat. So it's gonna be, I would like to say I would like to make it prohibitively expensive. So that you called, when you ask me, I will try to figure out a price that's like 10 bucks above what anyone want to pay for Maximat. Because I don't like sharpening it. I don't enjoy it. I just don't like it. Tammy Clevenger, what made you decide to use S125V on your fixed blade Hornets? The advantage and disadvantage of that steel. I did not use S125V on my Hornets, so that answers your question. Nothing made me do that. They're all in 20 CV. Even the production ones are going to be in 20 CV. There is no, you know, I made one knife so far, or two knives so far in S125V. It is insane. It is super wear resistant, but it also doesn't ever feel sharp the way I want it to be and things like that. So please hold any questions you guys have. I'm answering the questions you already asked. This is just a live reading of the questions. So I may actually just, I like having you guys here, but I think I may turn off the comments if it becomes unwieldy. Len Zielinski, I have a question. If you were to make an ideal folder, pick a model part at a time, blade, handle, grip, mechanism, so I could answer something like blade shape is the Kaiser. Oh, Len, I'm not going to try and answer that. That's going to get complicated. I would have to sit and think about that for a very long time. But I would like to say that it's going to be, it would probably wind up coming out real reminiscent of the Archbishop, the Ferrum Forge Archbishop. Blade Banner, don't pick me. I have one and I love it, but hate the pocket clip. Oh, he's talking about the giveaway knife. Okay, if you only had 2 stones, what would you choose? I would have to say that I would take, if I could only have 2 stones, I would take a really aggressive coarse stone, which would probably be, because of the length of life on it, I mean, because I'm thinking not having to replace anything for a long time. I'd have to say I'd probably take a small DMT diamond plate, or maybe, something I don't have to flatten. This is where I'm going with this. Something I don't have to flatten. So a DMT continuous plate, probably as my course, and then a good, nice, soft Arkansas, because those two, they don't wear out. So that would be it. And you can use oil on both of them if you need to. I mean, you don't have to worry about keeping one sequestered from the other while you're using it. Okay. A sleepy insomnia. What do you like most about your YouTube channel? Right now, if you've heard the rant that I've been on lately, I'm not happy about much of anything on this YouTube channel. They're really just irritating me. But the interaction that we get, the comments section, that's why I do the live feeds. The live feeds, I don't make it. Some people think it's a monetary thing. And it's not. I don't make any money on YouTube. I do it for fun. I enjoy it. I monetize my videos because it allows what interactions we have, the ones that allow me to claim, to share the channel and get a more robust comment section. So I think we've got a pretty good community on this channel. I just can't figure out how we've got 4,000 people, but we got 4,000 subscribers, but I have not yet seen a video in over a month that has broke 500 views. So, hey, Simon, I'm not answering any questions before you do. I'm answering these questions. Matt Wythe, congrats, mate. Thank you very much. Austin Attaway, awesome content. Keep up the good hard work. Taz's World, do you think folders look better with wood scales or man-made materials, G10, CF, and tie? And then there's a couple comments in here. Oh, that's me. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I was telling him to email me. Michael, I think I already answered your comment or your question, so you may want to go back and watch it again. I like the look of a wood scale, but I also don't like the fact it cracks. I like some of the man-made materials like G10 and things like that for the utilitarian purpose, but I don't like the way they look as much. I would have to say my favorite is tie, because I can do things with titanium that I can't do with wood and things like that, or aluminum. So Taz, you actually won, in case you haven't seen it. So, Spitfire, I know you're here. Why do you think Cold Steel discontinues popular high-end, like the high-end models like the Black Sable, Archangel, Triple Action, the Cullidan, the Spectre, etc.? Well, here's the thing. Those models, while they are attractive and they were popular-ish, they were popular to a small group of people, and there just wasn't any money in it. And the Archangel with Switchblade, or not Switchblade laws, but Balisong laws, they had a hard time with that. And so Triple Action was a whole thing that it just, if you've ever held a Triple Action that's been used a lot, it's sloppy. They're aluminum. The handles are aluminum. The pivots are, it's steel screws through an aluminum pivot, and you're doing, and it just, the detent ball, they wear out. And so, they had a lot of complaints, so they just discontinued it. M4A1, my style. Could I tell a story about my hat? Okay, so this is the second hat that I've had like this. The original used to say, it didn't say Drink Howls, it said New York and Cleveland on the back, and then it started peeling off, and it said Orkland. So Howls is a soda company that were predominantly in the Midwest, and they had 2 major distributors, one in Ohio and one in New York. And Howls root beer was a thing. So, but the thing is, the story behind the original hat was my friend mods vehicles. He works on cars. He owns a garage. He retired a couple years before I did. He runs his garage about 20 miles, 30 miles north of here. And I went to his shop the one time, and he was he was rechipping my Volkswagen, so I got more horsepower and things like that, and better fuel economy and all that. And so he had the hat on a counter, and he was like, "Hey, take that fucking hat with you." He was trying to sell it. And he's like, "I had some guy drop some off," and he's like, "I was gonna sell these hats." He's like, "That's the last one. I can't get rid of it. It's just taking up shelf space. Here, have a hat." Because I was bitching about my hat. You know, it was. I had a hat that the bill had gotten sewn on crooked, so it always looked like this. And so he's like, "Here, just take that fucking hat and get it out of my shop." Well, I started making the YouTube channel, and then it just became a thing where I always wore this hat in the videos, even though I have a lot more. And it's just become almost a thing where this is as recognizable as the music or the logo or me, my face in the hat. I actually had people come up to me at the county fair here in San Diego, were like, "Hey, I thought that was you, and I wasn't sure until I saw the hat." So the hat now has become as recognizable with the brand and the YouTube channel. So I've actually just kind of I've stuck myself with this. Nico bought me this. This was a replacement. Nico bought me a replacement hat because the old one was just falling apart. So that's the story behind the hat. What's the best advice you give to somebody wanting to start their own business, not necessarily in general in business? If you have a job right now, stick with it until you're sure that everything is working out. That'd be the only thing I would change about how I did it. Well, I mean, I really couldn't do it. It took up too much time, but that would be the best advice. And get your LLC as early as you can to legitimize the business and protect yourself from legal concerns. Congratulations, Mike. You've earned it, bud. That's Shadow. Michael, actually, here you are. What are your thoughts on the up-and-coming Sebenza 31? Well, my thoughts on it are mixed. At first, I was upset that they were changing the 21, which it's in my pocket. Sebenza weekend. It's a good luck thing. Good luck green. I carry it when we go to kids skating competitions. So there aren't that many real changes. So what they've done is they've gotten rid of one of the things that irks me about some knives is the titanium on steel interface. And what they did is they replaced it with a great big ceramic ball, and it actually is a better, it's just a better interface. And I carried my buddy here in San Diego has an Umnums on. I carried it for a while, and I was playing with the lockup and everything. I was like, you know what? That is better. And so I really think that the Sebenza 31 is it's the rightful heir to the throne of the 21. Don't forget, there have been multiple models of the Sebenza. They used to have a Sebenza Classic, and it had the 21. It had Sebenza 25, which now is not the Umnums on. I can't remember what they call it. It's got a different name, but basically it was the 25 got changed, and it had a finger. So there's been changes. This is different than my original. My original was in BD1N. This is an S35VN. So there's been changes throughout the history of the Sebenza. So those little changes are gonna be different. It's like when they change a model of a car when you first, and you're like, oh, I don't like it. But then it grows on you, like the new Dodge Darts. I didn't like them. I like the old Dodge Dart. It was a classic. But if you look at the new Dodge Dart, it's a nice looking car, and you kind of change those things change over time. And so, yes. So I'm excited for it too. And I'm gonna get to see it at USN because Tim and I have already talked. Tim Reeve and I have already talked. I was trying to get him to send me a prototype model or one that they had, and he's like, we don't have that many yet. We have to finish the production on the, this is what I was telling, well, as a matter of fact, Ashton right there. Ashton asked me about the discontinuing the 21, and so I texted Tim right then and got an answer back that he's like, they're still making the 21. So until they get their back orders of the 21s out to distributors and things like that, they aren't making the 31 yet. They're finishing up their orders. So I'm gonna let Tim explain the change and the reason for the change. I already know, but I'm gonna let him explain it. And I would just like to ask you guys, if you're here, if you could just leave a like, because we're having a hard time getting the interactions on the channel too. YouTube basically told me that since my channel deals with knives, that they're like, oh, those interactions don't count as much. Basically what they told me. So, my cousin Jake Kirkman, if I send you my Fortis for sharpening and change the colors on it, what scheme would you choose? The last two Fortises I did, the red one, and then mine, which I did in black, have both come out good. And I would say those would probably be the ones that I would stick with. Maybe do a black with a green, black in the low spots and a green ano on the surface and the pocket clip. But I would say black hardware, black pivot, black milled lines, and then green on top. Black and green always go good. So does blue. Blue and black, blue and bronze, but that would be about it. Okay. Sean Liu, besides free and cold beer, what's your favorite brand? I actually have a favorite brand of beer. I really do. It's expensive. It's really expensive. It's a Japanese beer, and it's called Ebisu. And it is the oldest beer. They are the oldest brewers in Japan. They are the ones with the Imperial Seal. They had the Imperial Seal longer than any other company. And it's fucking good. Ebisu. Yeah, shit is good. Right after that would be Sapporo Black. Like if you're in Japan, like the brewery where we go to and go on the tour at the Ebisu brewery every year when I do go to Japan, they also have the Sapporo brewery there as well. And my wife just walked in. Hi, wife. So they have, they have that. We had a really good weekend. It was a good trip. So they also have Sapporo Black there. And if you can get it when it's fresh and hasn't been shipped overseas, it is amazing. They both are, both delicious. Actually, my top three are Japanese. So you have, I think all my top, Ebisu, Sapporo Black, Asahi Super Dry, and Kirin Ichiban. Those are like the best beers in the world. And I mean, I'm a beer drinker, so. What is the side opening? Why is the side opening blade better than the front opening type? So side opening like this versus the knife I'm giving away, I don't have to do as much manipulation, and there's a much less chance I'm going to get cut doing this than trying to swing it out the front. It's weird. So there is no, it's because it's safer. It's safer, and it's in a more proven mechanism. There's a reason that Vanoy Snap-Lock is not a real popular knife. Dwight Doisette, congratulations on 4,000. What's the hardest knife you ever worked on? Your least favorite you've ever modded? As much as I like, hang on a second, I gotta raise this seat up. As much as I like Brian Nadeau's knives, they are the hardest knives to take apart. They really are. I charge extra for those because they're hard to work on. Don't ask a bunch of questions, please, Austin. It'll distract me. I'm answering the questions for the giveaway. So I actually keep an extra, I keep an extra pivot for Brian Nadeau's knives here because I've broken two getting them apart. And so I just keep a replacement. I just keep one on hand. Josh Adams, do you strictly work for yourself or are you working for Fair and Forged? No, I do not work for Fair and Forged. They are friends of mine. They allow me to use their shop. I sharpen their knives. It's a very symbiotic relationship, but I definitely do not work for them. I am sole proprietor of this business. Will Hornbuckle, is the Horizon D still the best knife you own? And congratulations on the subs. It is not the best knife I own. It is the best production knife I own. I have a whole row of Fair and Forges, and those do not fall into the production knife realm. Those are something different. But as far as a production knife, strictly production, where there's not a bunch of choices, no customization, none of that, it is still the best knife, production knife I've ever purchased. Somebody said something and I kind of saw it. Congratulations. So this is Knives to My. Congratulations. What's your favorite fixed blade knife company? I'd have to say it's still going to be Cold Steel. If you're looking for a fixed blade, it's going to be a Cold Steel. You cannot go wrong with a Cold Steel. Lion Steel has that M4, which is a nice little knife, but You get it, and I've had 3 of them come in, and they have the same flaws in the exact same places. EDC knife, EDC gear, and pocket knife. Congratulations. What's your opinion on black Arkansas stone? Would you use oil and water? Okay, so Arkansas stones are nice. They are very good. They're great. They polish as you sharpen. You get a good keen edge. They don't dish out. I mean, they will over years of use dish out. I have my grandfather's that he got from his father-in-law, my great-grandfather. I have his Arkansas stone. So if you're looking for something that's gonna go the distance, it's gonna last like a ceramic, but not be quite as fragile and a little easier to use because it has more bite and you get more of a feedback from it than you do from from a ceramic stone. I would say that would be a good option. And you always use oil. You always use oil on a ceramic or on a on an Arkansas stone. Unless you're just in a pinch and you can't find anything else, I wouldn't use water. I would spit on it. I just spit. It's more, it has more lubricity than regular water. Or if you can swing it, take some soapy water if you don't want to use oil. But usually just mineral oil would be what I would use. Drop a like, guys. Drop a like. I'm spending a lot of time. I could be spending with my daughter to do this for you guys. So please just drop a like. Christopher Nelson. Okay, I have 2-part questions. What's your favorite method for sharpening knives? Freehand. Freehand on those little stones. That's it. I love sharpening. I like the way it feels. It's relaxing. I get paid to do it. And what's my favorite knife to sharpen? I don't have a favorite knife to sharpen. I love sharpening pretty much anything. Recurves are interesting. And I get frustrated and stuff like that. But at the end of it, I can look at it and go, wow, look what I did on something that most people can't sharpen. Least favorite knife to sharpen. The Benchmade Anthem. I know you didn't ask, but that's my least favorite to sharpen because they are every one of them, recurved, and their fucking heat treat on 20 CV is good. And it's really wear resistant. And it just, to get that recurve out of it, it's just a pain. What a giveaway. This is Owen Joseph King. What a giveaway. Which knife maker company is your favorite or that I like best? Well, you guys know Elliot is like Elliot's like my favorite designer because he has an aesthetic that carries over on all of his knives. But I'm going to exclude him because we're really good friends. So right behind him, I would have to say it's Elijah Isham. I think Elijah is my favorite knife designer right now. And for company, excluding Ferrum Forge Knife Works, because that's just not fair because I have a personal relationship with those guys. We're friends. We Knives right now is killing it. Reat, and then there's a couple companies that are doing some stuff that I really like. But as far as companies, that's got to be it, I think. Well, that's not true. That's not true. CRKT has a lot of really nice knives. They really do. But a lot of the execution is where it lacks. Okay, so Gatry McLennan. Man, love watching your videos. Avid freehand sharpener and line cook. My question is, as a professional, what is your recommendation for whetstones that can cut through high HRC knives relatively quickly? Well, like I said, it's not necessarily HRC because I'm gonna tell you right now, S125V at 59 HRC is way tougher to cut than other steels. Like 60, if you're running, I'm sorry, not 59. If you're running S125V at like 60, which is a good 60 to 63-ish. I can't remember what it came out. But at any rate, it's way harder to cut that than it is to cut something that's at the higher Rockwell in other steels, per se. I would say the Vinev Diamond Stones, they're a water stone. They make a mess, but they do cut well. That's a good cheaper option. And if you're wanting the skinny stones, like I use the matrix stones, those are the Edge Pro Diamond Matrix stones. You can get them. The only place you can get them is the Edge Pro site. So those both cut high wear resistant, high carbide steel really well. But you can do it. As much as people argue with me, you can do it with just about any whetstone. It's just gonna take you longer. Or waterstone. Dylan White, congrats, man. What made you start your YouTube channel? I didn't like the way other channels were done. And I just wanted a channel that was fun. And I wanted to, I don't know, bored. I just thought it would be something cool, and it's turned into almost something therapeutic where I kind of interact with you guys. Ron Faircloth. How is your family, especially your daughter, and her activities? You haven't mentioned it lately. I didn't miss anything. Always hear about you.
I'm great.
She's great. See? She's great. She's first in the country in the girls' juvenile bracket. I always like hearing about them. Will you be coming to the gathering in Las Vegas? I will be at the gathering in Las Vegas. I will. Mark Ridgewell. Why does it seem like the guys who sharpen knives are more inclined to share their face than the guys that review knives in anonymity? I don't know. And there's a comment on there. Jones says, "Ha, this will be interesting." I really don't know. I had a channel. Let's go back in the history of it. I had a channel that was a lot like Bird Shots and Nick Shabazz and Metal Effort, where it was the top-down review of the knife, and it just never got any traction. And one day, I was in the process of trying to order a knife from the Grimsmo brothers, back when you could place an order. And I basically, we were talking about it, and I sent him a link to a video, and he goes, you know what? If you put a face to that voice, people will respond. If you turn that camera around, people will respond to the fact you are addressing them face to face. It's not just some disembodied voice. He's like, that's why we do our videos the way we do. He's like, you put a face to that channel and people respond. And I'm like, I'm ugly. Because it doesn't matter. So I think that's what it is. I don't know why. I was given some advice. And I mean, I didn't like the channels that were just the top-down reviews so much, but it seemed like that's what everything was. It works for some channels it doesn't. Some people want to have that anonymity. I've met Nick Shabazz several times, and I understand his reasoning behind. But I mean, let's think about the hate and shit that has happened to me because I have this channel. Because people just want to be upset about something, and so it's recreational outrage, and they want other people to be as miserable as they are because they live a sad and pathetic life. That's a lot of it, to insulate themselves from the shit that I get. That can't be the end of the comments. Guys, it looks like we've answered all the comments almost. Let's see. It's awesome that you're doing this, Mike. Here's my question. What's the most important lesson you've learned in life and in sharpening? Don't get bent out of shape like I do. I can't help it. I just get bent out of shape about shit. In sharpening, take your time. Let's see. This can't be all of the comments. It might be. This is the last of the comments, guys. See, this was not a good. If you could take, this is Neve's Knives. If you could take one feature from two knives and put them together, what knife would it be and what would it look like? What are you doing, kid?
When you're done, can you look at my room?
Yes. If I could take one feature from two knives and put them together. I don't know. I can't. Each knife is its own knife, and you can't really pick and choose. Like you guys know, I like my Sebenza, so I would say if there was a feature I could take from this, it wouldn't necessarily be the blade, or you know what it would be? It would be that perfect pocket clip, and then I would just put it on every other knife that I owned. I would make every knife have that exact pocket clip, because the way it contours and everything, it disappears. There is no hotspot from that pocket clip. It is the best pocket clip on any knife I've ever owned. It's perfect. The ones that come in second are Elliott's because they're a lot like this. Lower profile, they just melt into your hand. So the pocket clip off of this and just put it on any other fucking knife. That would be the only thing I could say. I couldn't really go any further than that. So let's refresh this and make sure that I'm not missing any comments. 49 comments. Let's see. Got rid of the skunk. This isn't doing what I want, guys. Hang on a second. This is really irritating me. Sort by newest first. And then get down to the bottom. Nope, that's it, guys. That's the end of the comments. That's it. So if you guys enjoy this stuff, leave a like. I'm real frustrated with YouTube right now. This might be the last video for a while. I think, except for my daughter's skating. Not answering questions in this. So I'm sorry, Alpha Boss. I'm done. I'm done for the day. This was just answering the questions for the giveaway. The giveaway video already went up. Taz, if you didn't see it, if you happen to be on here, shoot me an email and we'll get it figured out. The thing to keep in mind, guys, and I've said it before, you guys know how the rules work. I don't know if I said it. If it's an overseas thing and if he decides that he doesn't want to pay the shipping for overseas, then I'm going to pick a different winner because I can't eat the overseas shipping cost. It's crazy expensive. So that was the only caveat. That I've said that in every video. I don't remember if I've said it in this giveaway, but that's the only caveat to that. So if he decides if he is overseas and he decides he doesn't want to pay the shipping, there will be another selection made. I don't think I'll tape it, but I will get in touch with that person. So, all right, guys, I gotta go spend some time with my daughter. We're gonna watch a scary movie marathon. Take it easy. I'm gonna get her other video posted up. I'll see you guys later. Like I said, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. And if you want to try and support her skating, because we are going to have to, there's a big competition coming up at the end of the year that's gonna cost thousands of dollars. I really am gonna need support on that. So, love you guys. Take it easy. Try not to take what I said about YouTube too seriously. I'm real frustrated with them right now. They're not being very helpful to small content creators. So take it easy. I'll talk to you later.